let's yap about it. So, I'm a mom, a business owner, and a full time employee. And I'm about to pack some orders, and I figured I would chat with you guys, even though it's really me talking to myself, about really just what's been on my mind, the things that I feel like I want to work on right now in this time and space in my life as a business owner, as a person, woman of God specifically. Jesus want to do it. And then, what did I say? Business owner, woman of God, and a mother. So, for starters, I feel like one of the things that people don't really talk about as it relates to business is how the way that you do business says more about yourself than the business itself. So, you could have a great product, but if you bring in some of your toxic traits and ways and habits into the business, it will show. So, for me specifically, that has occurred. And at this time, I'm currently trying to focus on being consistent. And when I say consistent, I mean in every area. So, sometimes businesses go through changes to websites and changes to, how products look. But for me, I've treated my business as though it is a small business, which means I would view it from the mindset of, oh, well, they know it's homemade, so I can make my labels any kind of way. Or they know it's homemade, so I can ship my orders out late. Or they know it's homemade, so sometimes the product might be in different packaging. And I just don't think that that's something that is sustainable, especially for me being in business for 5 years. You would think that I would have learned this a long time ago. But I think I initially was thinking that it saved time. Like, it saved time if I used whatever I had on hand, or it saved time if I took my time packing orders and shipping things out. But it really doesn't, because it takes more time to stress over if you have enough labels. Like, for me, I just print off these labels knowing that I should have enough labels, or I should be printing off labels once a week. If that's the amount of orders that I think I'm going to get, or that I'm used to getting, or that I want to get, I have to be prepared on the front end so where I don't have to get ready on the back end. Additionally, when it comes to packing and shipping people's orders, I have not kept things consistently. So you may have seen this bottle sometimes, and other times you may have seen this bottle right here. And the reason that that's happened is for a lot of different reasons. Number one, the vendor that I use for this is way more expensive than the vendor for this. As you can tell, they look differently. And for a while, that's been okay for me, because I haven't felt the need to hold myself accountable. And when you are a business owner, you have to hold yourself accountable, because you don't have a boss that's there holding you there accountable. And some people do say that your customers are your bosses, but I haven't had never mind that. I have had one person to complain that they received a different bottle, and I thought that they would have been excited because, it's plastic, it wouldn't break, blah, blah, blah. But they were not. But you would think that would have made me change my standards, and this was maybe 2 years ago. I have not. It's literally as of maybe 2 months ago that I've realized that I need to keep my standards the same, regardless of the season, regardless of the reason. If you're at the beginning and you're trying to get money up, save a couple dollars, cool. But if you want to run a long-term brand, not even just like, small business, if you just want to run a brand in general, you must be consistent. And the reason that that's coming up is because if you look at this label, it's black and white. But recently I've been printing off colored labels, but I still had 2 of these left. And because I got this order last night, I was not prepared with colored labels in order to be able to ship these orders. These are the last 2 of these black and white labels. And sometimes I have my bottle seals available, sometimes I don't. So, I'm going to go in here and just so happen to see if I have them in here so that I can seal them off. Versus me having all of my bottle seals ready and available and already done. Like, I just bottled up these oils. These oils should have been bottled up 2 weeks ago before I even got the orders, or 2 weeks ago when I did other orders, because I get orders pretty frequently. You would think that I would just have the shelf ready, and I don't. So that's something else that I'm learning in business, which goes into my next category, inventory management. By me being a handmade, I forge some of my ingredients. Some of my ingredients are ordered. They just really come from different places, and sometimes the shipping takes longer for some of my ingredients, or I have to go into the forest, or some of the ingredients are limited because of, you know, season changes, then I should know my inventory. I should know how much I need of bottles. I should know when I'm low on bottles. Like when I went to grab these 2 bottles, I did not realize that these were my last 2 bottles. And I do not have inventory day written on my calendar weekly or bi-weekly or even monthly for me to check in with myself and say, hey, what all needs to be ordered, what all needs to be made, especially when it comes to my soaps, because, you know, when you're making soap, it takes time. When you're making tinctures, it takes months for it to be ready. Even when I'm making my oil, I don't just infuse the oil into the herb in the bottle. Like, it actually takes time to be infused over weeks, you know, over days, over weeks, over time before it's put into these bottles. So it's like, if I know that, I should almost be making them, and I'm saying it to you, saying it to myself, saying it to you so that I can hold myself accountable, because it just is what it is. Then it makes a difference. So now, you know, I'm packing these 2 orders, but I shouldn't have to go out of my way to box up the soap, to label the soaps, to print off the labels for the soaps, to bottle up the oils, to put the labels on the oils and put the tops on the oils. That's like 6 different steps that as a business owner is costing me time, and it's potentially costing me money. Because the person that's getting these soaps, people have started buying in bulk. Like, they're getting 5 soaps and they're getting 2 oils, because they almost have it in their mind probably that if I order from her, it might take a minute for me to get there. Not that the product isn't effective, not that it isn't going to help them, but that it may take some time to get it. And that's not what the reputation that I want to have for my business. It's not. And I think in the past, my brain was like more so on the money. I'm going to be honest with you. I started K Natural Solutions for myself first, for my painful periods, for my anxiety, for my migraines. Then when my son was born, for his eczema, you know, for his allergies, for all of his issues. So once I took care of us, it was like, okay, you know, I can help other people. They can get healed in the process, but I want the money. And my brain has shifted recently, and it's been back to I want to help the people that were like me and less about the money. So for someone who's out there who's thinking about, you know, their business and getting the money, how they want to pay for certain things, I'm here to tell you that you're doing it backwards. The goal is to help the people first, to solve the problem, and then the money will come. But the goal is to think about the fact that, like, people are still spending their hard-earned money with you in this economy, with all of the, you know, governmental issues going on, shutdowns and things, and they're still trusting you and whatever service or product that you offer. So it's like, that's no light thing. And this is me, like I said, having a gap session with you, but this is something I had to realize myself, because it went from helping people to then about the money to then, and my stuff showed because of that. I was okay with having late orders, but I was okay with, you know, having my labels being messed up because it was about the money. And now my brain has reshifted back to it's about the people, and it's been back about the people for maybe 6 months. But I will say that I think something that helped me reshift my focus back to the people is I had to take time away. A lot of times people, you know, they're, oh, I don't like my 9 to 5, I don't like my 9 to 5, but I have been doing business for 4 years straight, content creation for 4 years straight, stay-at-home mom for 4 years straight, and it became a lot on my mind, on my body, on my spirit, how I viewed the things that I have and the role that I've been given on this earth, to where I didn't want to do it anymore. And I think that's why my brain shifted more to money and less to helping people. So for the last year, I've been working a regular job, and I love it. I love being able to look forward to that check, you know, however many weeks apart, and knowing that, like, it's in my industry, so it's in healthcare. I'm still able to help people, and I'm still able to have the flexibility to work from home and to still work on my business and do social media stuff. So I say all that to say, I took a break. I'm back now. My mind has shifted, and now I'm able to look at my business from a whole different perspective. So thanks for listening to my yap session. I'll see you next time when I need to yap again, because I'm sure it will be soon.